Hey guys, welcome to my new movie collections update video for the month of April 2015, guys. Again, I want to thank you for joining me to, partake in this little video that I have right here talking about the new films that I watched within the last, I feel like 2 months or so, guys. I'm really behind. A lot of the titles I'm going to show you in this video are stuff that came out at least almost 2 months ago. So like my last video, I'm going to start off first of all with the videos that I saw online that I downloaded for myself. And the first video that I'm going to start off with is, of course, the 1980 comedy Airplane with Robert Hayes and Julie Haggerty. Ted and Elaine, yes. I remember watching this film and thinking it was, back when I was smaller, again, just thinking it was funny, but not really understanding a lot of the jokes at the time. And now watching it again all these years later, it just kind of, again, a feeling of nostalgia just to watch a lot of these old films again, which I think is the reason why I'm watching a lot of them online. Because I want to relive some of these nostalgic moments from my childhood in terms of movies. But this movie is about basically Ted wants to kind of get back together with Elaine. They get on this plane. The plane ends up having some sort of an incident happens in terms with food poisoning. The pilots are all knocked out, and basically Ted had to take it upon himself to try to land the plane back. But there's a whole bunch of hilarity and just comedic moments and situations that happen in terms of how they try to land the plane, all the different gags that happen. You just have to watch it. For those of you that basically have seen this movie, you know what I'm talking about. You know what it's about. It's hysterical. Next one that I have to talk about is, of course, another one from the 80s. Another one from my childhood. Pee-wee's Big Adventure, guys. Oh my goodness. It must have been 20 years ago since the last time I saw this movie. And honestly, for me, it still kind of holds up for me in terms of just having that fondness, of making me remember some of the things that I enjoyed about Pee-wee's Big Adventure. Not to mention the fact that you see, a Godzilla scene at the, towards the end of the film, because I am a big, huge Godzilla fan, as all of you pretty much well know, right? But it was pretty interesting just to see that. They had like this whole Toho studio and stuff in the back. But the story basically is Pee-wee. Again, it's like a little boy trapped in a man's body. Has this fantastic bike that his best friend, wants to get his hands on, but Pee-wee doesn't want to give him the bike, doesn't want to sell it. It's not for sale, it's his. And the bike ends up getting stolen, so Pee-wee pretty much goes on this cross-country adventure to try to get his bike back. So he's pretty much just going to different people, trying to get different clues as to the whereabouts of his bike, and eventually finds it of all places in Hollywood, California. So he goes over there to retrieve his bike, but again, everything that happens from the beginning of the film, the moment he loses it to the point that he finds it, is just, I think it's comedic gold, coming from, the character, the character of Pee-wee. It's a lot of fun, guys. I really enjoyed watching this movie so much. Again, a lot of nostalgia with these films, these first two films that I'm talking about. So it was really great to see it. So if you grew up watching Pee-wee's Big Adventure, then you guys know what this is all about. For those of you that haven't watched it, I definitely say check it out, because it's definitely worthwhile. It's a lot of fun, Plus, I hear there's supposed to be another Pee-wee's movie coming out very soon. Don't know if that's true, but hey, looking forward to that. And the last film that I have to talk about in terms of my downloads is this movie called Robot and Frank. I remember I saw a trailer for this movie a few years ago, and I was very interested in watching it, but never got around to actually finding it being sold anywhere. Until I finally decided, hey, let me just download it online so I can watch it there. And I have to say that it's a really great film, It starts Frank Langella, who basically plays kind of like an old, retired cat burglar. So, and he kind of has these moments of, what would you call it? I believe it's, he suffers from dementia, I believe, or memory loss from time to time. So he has these moments where he kind of just forgets where he is. He has a daughter, of course, played by Liv Tyler. So there's lots of moments in here where, the family's trying to, he's trying to, especially his daughter, is trying to get him to be well, but he's kind of like in between, trying to go back into trying to be a cat burglar, but at the same time just trying to be, live kind of like a normal life, despite the fact that he has a lot of these issues. And Susan Sarandon plays a librarian, which we don't later find is actually really connected to his character towards the end. Is actually his wife, but we don't find out about that until the end of the film. Again, subtle hints in terms of, again, some of the dementia that his character goes through, and kind of bouncing, between his past and his current life. And what happens is that his son gets him a robot. It's supposed to be like a companion robot to kind of just keep him company throughout the day. But he ends up teaching the robot how to be able to pick locks and things of that nature. And the robot kind of agrees to kind of like, oblige him you know, with these tasks, if it kind of keeps his mood up, you know, keeps him feeling happy, you know, and good about themselves. So the whole movie is just basically seeing how these two, you know, characters, you know, the human and a robot, kind of uh, they don't get along. Like Frank Langella's character doesn't get along, doesn't like the robot at the beginning, but he kind of gets used to it. He kind of befriends the robot, and they kind of form a relationship with each other. So it's very. I thought it was very endearing and heartwarming. It was the writing is amazing. It's great. You know, it was a really good film, guys. So I definitely say check out Robot and Frank if you haven't done so already, guys. All right, it's a really good film. All right. So now moving on to the stuff that I have here that I do actually own physically. All right. So the first film that I have to show you is this horror film called The Atticus Institute. Basically, the premise of this film is, I believe it takes place during the 70s. I don't recall now because I saw this a while ago. I don't recall if the film was actually based on real events or if some aspect of it is actually based on something that was actually documented. But anyway, the story goes is that there was an institute that was kind of taken over by the military to conduct experiments in regards to paranormal psychic telekinesis or telekinetic powers. Especially from people that exhibit these particular abilities. So there's one patient that actually comes in who actually has authentic abilities, and the military kind of gets hold of this, and they want to kind of like, they want to extract the powers, and of course, like the military is always known to do, to try to weaponize it, you know. So the whole movie is just trying to documenting basically what happens, the type of experiments that they conduct on this particular patient, and how things, of course, go horribly wrong. And I have to say that the movie was actually really good, despite the fact that, you know, it's a kind of found footage type of film style. So, but it was done very well, not too shaky. It was really good, actually. The story, the premise, I thought was really interesting. I really liked it. The actress that they got to play the main patient, who all the experiments were being done to, I thought she was actually really good. There was moments that she really looks really creepy in terms of just that long stare that she gives, you know, either the camera as it's being filmed, this is filming her, or to the other people in the room who are trying to do these experiments on her. But I thought it was a really good film, you know, The Atticus Experiment, guys, or The Atticus Institute. So definitely say check it out. The next film that I have to show you is Brad Pitt in Fury. And this, of course, I believe takes place in World War II, and Brad Pitt's part of a small unit of soldiers that, you know, go around in this tank trying to, I believe they're trying to, they're in Germany, so they're going around trying to do different tasks there. And it's basically just seeing how these group of men kind of like work together, how they, you know, become a well-oiled machine, and the type of adversities that they go up against as they try to make it from point A to point B. Especially with the one character that's kind of put in there last minute. So he's basically like the rookie in the team, but basically just seeing how he grows up and matures, you know, to be able to be a reliable person of the unit with everyone else inside the tank. So I'd say, you know, it was a really good film. I don't remember everything, guys, about it because I saw it a long time ago, but honestly, just from what I remember, it was a really good film. I really liked it. Brad Pitt does an amazing job, of course, you know, his portrayal in this film, and everybody down from Shia LaBeouf, you know, to I forgot the guy from The Walking Dead was in this movie. A lot of known actors are in this one too. So everyone actually did a really good job playing the roles that they had in this film. So I definitely say check it out, guys, if you haven't already done so already. The next film that I have to show you is Ben Affleck and Rosamund Pike, and of course Gone Girl. I heard a lot about this movie. I heard that it was really good, but didn't know what to expect from it. But after watching it, I have to say it's like, wow, it's unbelievable. Just the amount of treachery, the amount of I don't know, just treachery. You know, to be quite honest, just how much everyone was, you know, like the two main characters. You know, basically Ben Affleck and Rosamund Pike basically play this married couple that it's plays out that supposedly she goes missing, and everyone kind of looks at Ben Affleck's character as being the one responsible for her disappearance and possible death. And he begins to unravel, you know, the mystery to kind of realize that she's not really dead, that she hasn't been kidnapped, that she actually ran away, and she's trying to make him look responsible for the fact that he doesn't oblige, or, you know, primarily doesn't oblige to certain things that she wants out of a particular relationship. So there's a certain level of sinister type of actions and consequences that happen. I'm not even sure if that makes sense, guys, but for those of you that's seen Gone Girl, you know what I'm talking about. I mean, it is so over the top. Like, most of the stuff in this film, I didn't even see it coming in terms of how it turns out. But it's so good that it just makes me realize, you know, it's like, nope, I don't want to be involved in any kind of situation like that at all. So, but you know, it's so good though. It's so good. I was caught by surprise. You know, it was one of the Ben Affleck's, you know, finest performances in cinema from everything that I've seen of him as of late. So I definitely say, guys, check out Gone Girl if you haven't done so. And if you have, check it out again, guys, because it's really good. It really good. It just makes you think about, again, what people are willing to go through in terms of just trying to either please, to set other people up, just the amount of treachery and collusion that's involved in this movie, you know, not just by one side, but primarily from both sides, how they basically play each other in order to be able to seem like things are going to get back to normal or going to go worse. It's unbelievable, but it's so well done. It's so good, guys. So definitely, Gone Girl. The next film that I have to show you is Jeremy Renner in Kill the Messenger. Again, I've been so stuck on Jeremy Renner because of all the Marvel movies that I enjoy him in those movies, so it's kind of rare to actually sit down and actually watch Jeremy Renner in any other film outside of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. So this is actually a really good treat. And basically, he plays a journalist that discovers the actual real, I guess you can say, collusion between I believe this the U.S. Central Intelligence Agency and the South American drug cartels. And basically, he discovers that, you know, the reason why so much of the drug trafficking that happened, I believe, during the late 80s, possibly early 90s here in the States was because the U.S. was actually, according to the film, and some of the, you know, material that's covered, is because the U.S. was actually buying a lot of this material into the country. So this character, the reporter, kind of discovers this, goes looking, investigating, goes into the South American region to find out, to speak to people, to kind of validate whether these claims are true, and he actually finds out that they are true. So it's a very interesting story, guys. Very interesting, very well thought out, very well written. Jeremy Renner does an amazing job, you know, playing this particular character. There's so much that you found that was very interesting in terms of, you know, how these organizations were going about trying to smuggle in and sell these narcotics within the country, or just smuggling them out of the country. So it was really interesting, guys. So definitely, if you haven't done so, check out Kill the Messenger. It's a really good film, guys. Definitely recommend. And the last film that I have to show you, of course, is Scarlett Johansson and Lucy. Again, Scarlett Johansson, I like her. I like her as Black Widow in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. So why wouldn't I like her as the title, you know, character in this movie, Lucy? Right? Basically, the premise: the character of Lucy gets, for all intents and purposes, she gets a sort of new synthetic drug implanted in her that kind of gives her supernatural, not supernatural, yeah, you kind of say like supernatural powers. You know, she gets all these wicked, you know, kind of powers that allow her to do certain things. She's able to learn languages quickly. She can fight. She can kind of almost even manipulate waves, like sound waves, radio waves. There's a lot of visuals in here that are actually pretty interesting. Again, some of the science and where they were going in this movie in terms of how far they were trying to backtrack to the origins of humanity or existence is kind of questionable. I think they really kind of jumped the shark towards the end of this movie. But nonetheless, everything else leading up to that was pretty interesting. It was fun to watch. Of course, fun to watch Scarlett Johansson do a film like this. You know, just kind of cement the idea that she is a female action star. So it's great to see that, you know. But despite, regardless of the ending being kind of like a jumping on the shark, I thought it was a really good film. It was fun. It was a fun popcorn flick. So I definitely say, guys, if you have the chance and you haven't done so, I definitely say give Lucy a chance. Check it out with your friends, you know, and just have a good time. It's really fun, guys. It's a really fun film. All right, and that's pretty much it, guys. So I hope you guys enjoyed my new movie collections update video for this month. Tell me what you think about the films that I've actually talked about, whether the ones that I have physically in my possession or the ones that I actually downloaded off the internet. Let me know what you think, guys, all right? Tell me your opinions. Do you agree with some of the things that I have to say, or do you have differences of opinions? Give me other recommendations too, guys, all right? Tell me what's out there, what I should be watching, what I should be keeping an eye out for, you know? And I'll catch you next time, guys, all right? So as always, stay safe and keep watching films, all right, guys?